Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel for future XRP news and other cryptocurrency news in general. The coin market cap summarizes all that is discussed in this video. Come on, look at this. A lawyer discusses how the SAC could permit Ripple to pay a fine of $125 million. Legal expert Jeremy Hogan has raised the possibility that Ripple would choose to pay its $125 million penalty in XRP instead of cash. The continuing legal battle between Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has taken a new turn with this revelation. The idea, which is founded on earlier legal precedents, might offer an alternative method of compliance if the U.S. Treasury and the Securities and Exchange Commission approved such a payment system. The SAC's ruling in Ripple's legal penalties in August 2023, a federal judge determined that Ripple had violated securities laws by selling XRP to institutional investors without following the proper registration requirements. Consequently, court imposed a $125 million fine and a permanent injunction to stop such violations in the future. This sanction was a key result of the lengthy legal battle and had a substantial impact on how Ripple operated under U.S. regulations. Although the company has made it apparent that it would follow court instructions, there is currently discussion over how it may ultimately pay the fine. Attorney Jeremy Hogan suggested in a recent statement that the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, would allow Ripple to pay the punishment in XRP instead of USD following legal precedent and using XRP as a payment method. The United States Supreme Court heard the case in 1869. It forms the basis of Hogan's argument and permitted a contract to be fulfilled in gold instead of money. The underlying concept that led to that result was the notion that in some circumstances, specific performance, in this case, the payment of a debt in a specific asset, could be a suitable substitute. Hogan analyzes the current situation using this line of thinking and suggests that Ripple and the SEC may agree to use XRP to collect the fine. This is particularly likely given that the U.S. Treasury manages holdings of digital assets and may have a mechanism in place to accept such a payment. This tactic is not without its difficulties, though. Penalty, which is a kind of fine, was imposed on Ripple. Penalties are often paid to the U.S. Treasury in cash per customary procedure. The plan won't be carried out if the Securities and Exchange Commission rejects a different payment method. The U.S. Treasury's position on holdings of digital assets. In light of this, the approach taken by the U.S. government on digital assets has also come under examination. Despite being listed in the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve and acknowledged as a long-term reserve asset, it seems that other cryptocurrencies like XRP are not receiving the same treatment. It may be prudent to store XRP and other assets like Cardano and Solana in the U.S. digital asset stockpile. The Treasury may be able to sell these holdings at its discretion with such a designation. It is now unclear if the Treasury would retain or sell the XRP if Ripple were to pay its fines in that currency. The market might be affected by the choice, considering that the government's decision to sell XRP in large quantities could have an impact on the asset's price. Prospects for investments in XRP and Ripple. Hogan's point of view has been discussed in the cryptocurrency community in relation to the viability of such a settlement mechanism and the possible repercussion of putting it into place. The willingness of the Treasury Department, Securities and Exchange Commission, and USEC to accept XRP as a cash alternative is still unclear. However, the conversation highlights the ongoing ambiguity surrounding the rules governing digital assets in the U.S. Ripple's plan to lessen its penalties will be examined throughout the upcoming court proceedings. It could set a precedent for future cryptocurrency-related cases if an agreement were reached that would allow payment in XRP. is still entirely theoretical since the regulatory bodies have not yet granted it formal approval. Ripple may pay its SEC fines in XRP or another cryptocurrency by using a court ruling that allows alternative asset settlement. If it were approved, XRP would be officially held by the US Treasury, potentially bringing government interests into line with those of XRP holders. By taking this step, XRP's legitimacy might grow, regulatory barriers could be lifted, and institutional adoption inside the financial system could quicken. The ongoing legal battle between Ripple and the SEC has recently taken an unexpected turn. Jeremy Hogan, an attorney, recently speculated that Ripple could be able to pay the $125 million judgment in XRP, which is equal to the fine amount. Ruling in the 1869 case of Willard v. Taylor by the Supreme Court established the precedent for paying contracts in other currencies, such gold as opposed to US dollars. This would serve as the foundation. Although the circumstances of Ripple's case are distinct from those of other instances, if both parties agree with the case's limits, the equitable relief theory may be applied. The fact that the penalty was assessed in US dollars was pointed out to Hogan. Nevertheless, if the SAC approves, Ripple can deposit a similar sum in XRP. This would enable contractual obligations to be settled in other assets following a precedent that has already been set. The fact that the punishment is a fine that has to be paid to the US Treasury presents a bigger challenge. On the other hand, considering that the Treasury Department will be in charge of overseeing the new digital asset stockpile, the integration of XRP might be a realistic alternative. The role that the SAC and Treasury will have in the future of XRP, an advocate for blockchain technology named Yasin Mubarak, adds another key dimension to this development. He highlighted the fact that Ripple's punishment is being held in an escrow account through a court-approved procedure. Whether the amounts being escrowed are in USD or XRP is not specified in the agreement. If Ripple were to arrange payment in XRP, the asset would be officially owned by the US government for the first time. By doing this, XRP holders' interests and those of the government may coincide, leading to increased use in the financial industry. Furthermore, this move can contribute to XRP's increased credibility in the US market. The Treasury's acceptance of XRP could lead to the lifting of regulatory limitations that have long impeded its expansion. The price of XRP may therefore benefit from increased demand as well as government assistance. It might be a turning point for the token if Ripple's fine is settled in XRP. The United States government's ownership of XRP would be an indication of its worth, which might persuade financial institutions to further integrate XRP. A decision of this kind would also promote greater market confidence, which would raise adoption rates and price increases.